You all love the first meal prep so much that we're going to continue to do this, and I'm going to call it Meal Prep Mondays and obviously upload this on a Monday. The first one we did was honey chicken. If you haven't seen that, make sure you go back and check that one out. But for this one, we're going to be doing chicken fajitas. This one's a recipe that I have done on the channel already, but I'm going to deconstruct it, make it even better, and turn it into meal prep. So let's get straight into it. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Alright, starting us off, we're going to be preparing our fajita mix, and throughout the video I've also created and added these nutrition guides for you, which is based on daily averages, and it's all set out into per serving and weights. The first thing to do is make the spice mix, so in a bowl add 2 teaspoons or 5 grams each of paprika, onion powder, garlic powder and ground cumin. Along with that, we're also going to add in 1 teaspoon or 1 gram of chili powder, 2 teaspoons or 6 grams of cornstarch, and 1 teaspoon or 5 grams of sea salt flakes. This can then be given a mix to combine, and the paprika adds colour and peppery notes, the onion and garlic powders add a nice concentrated flavour, the cumin adds an earthy warmth, the chili adds heat, and the cornstarch helps coat the rest of the ingredients, allowing for great colour and a nice consistency in the moisture that's released, and once mixed, set this aside for the time being. For the veg, we're going to need 2 brown or yellow onions that can be peeled and have both the tip and root removed. Slice these in half, and then in the half moon position, thinly slice across, creating even sized pieces, and about 3/4 of the way across, lay the onion down to continue slicing safely, which prevents it from wobbling around. Next is 2 medium to large sized bell peppers or capsicums using red and yellow, or any combination of your choice. We're going to then slice these 2 different ways, as everyone does things differently, with the first being straight in half and the second being the way Gordon Ramsay teaches, standing it up and slicing around the core. But I have to be honest, this way does feel a little bit unsafe, as it can easily slip and fall and cause some serious damage, not to the pepper but your poor little fingers. With the pepper that's been sliced in half, all that needs to be done is snap off the stem, also removing the white pith, giving it a little bang on the bench to remove any excess seeds, and with that done, these can then be thinly sliced into nice even sized strips, trying to be as consistent as possible with the size, leaving us with this. Now in a large bowl, add in the thinly sliced brown or yellow onion, along with the red and yellow bell pepper or capsicum, leaving no strips behind, and also add in half of the spice mix we made at the start. Then get your clean hands in there and rub those spices all over, then wrap it up and allow this to season or marinate for 10 minutes up to 24 hours if you wanted to make this ahead of time. For the chicken prep, here is 5 grams or 0.2 ounces of fresh oregano, which can be subbed with 1.5 teaspoons or 2 grams of dried oregano if you don't have any fresh. Scrunch this up into a tight bunch to make it easier to work with, and give it all a quick rough chop to slightly break it up, and it is better to be on the larger side. As for the chicken, we're going to need 1 kilo or 2.2 pounds of chicken breasts. These are also really small if you may be thinking that it looks a lot more. With these, simply butterfly them by making a horizontal slice through the center to open it up like butterfly wings, hence the name of the cut. And with this, slice it across the grain into even sized strips, and slicing across the grain reduces the length of the fibers and tissue, making it more tender and easier to chew. Place the chicken strips into a separate mixing bowl and add in the remaining spice mix. I also did this backwards in the edit if you're wondering why there's still spice mix left. Also add in the fresh or dried oregano, and just like the veg, mix this with clean hands until everything is combined, and this can also be wrapped up and allowed to marinate or season for 10 minutes up to 24 hours. Now next is the guacamole, which is optional, and I've also added the nutrition guide for this. Also, if you want to see anything extra to this, let me know in the comments. We'll keep updating this for every new meal prep video. The prep for this is 1/4 of a red onion that's been peeled, leaving the root intact. Make thin slices across, stopping just before the root, being careful of that last slice because it can be a bit wobbly. Rotate it 90 degrees to make a horizontal slice through the center to break up the formation, which also releases more potency from the onion as the cells are more broken down, and slice across to create nice small diced pieces, trimming off any excess flesh from around the root, saving the root for a stock. We're then going to need 1 large tomato, to which can be thinly sliced across to create strips, and I will say that with this guacamole you can add anything you prefer. Some people may say that I'm doing it wrong, but always make food how you like it. We are all different. Once sliced, stack a couple of those slices together and thinly slice across to create strips, tucking in any pieces that try to make a run for it, rotate it 90 degrees and proceed to dice into small even sized pieces. Next is 1 jalapeno that's going to be used for 2 different things in this recipe, so let's slice off and remove the stem. Slice the chili in half lengthways, and with both halves, we're going to make thin slices across. Also, you can remove the seeds and pith if you wanted to, but it does add a nice touch of heat. Once done, rotate the jalapeno 90 degrees and again slice across to create nice small diced pieces, dividing this into 2. Now 5 grams or 0.2 ounces of coriander or cilantro is going to be used, and I know lots of people don't like it, so for those that don't, you can leave it out, and for those that do, simply give it a quick rough chop to slightly break it up. For the citrus in this, we're going to be using 1 large lime. This is going to be used in 2 different parts of this recipe too, just like the jalapeno. This can be sliced in half and extract the juice with a citrus juicer or by hand and divide the juice into 2. Last but not least, we're definitely going to need 1 large ripe avocado, which can be carefully sliced around, which will make it easier to open up, and this knife is seriously so sharp it just sliced straight through the seed. To remove the seed, use a cheaper knife or something you don't really care about as much to carefully remove it, and then once that's done, scoop out the flesh, placing it into a mixing bowl in the process. Add in a small pinch of sea salt flakes to obviously season, but it also acts as an abrasive, which will help break this up, especially if your avocados are a little bit firmer. As for breaking it up, mash it with the back of a fork until slightly smooth, leaving it ever so chunky for a nice texture. Let's then add in the diced red onion, the diced tomato, the roughly chopped coriander or cilantro, half of that jalapeno, and half of the lime juice. Give this all a really good mix for those flavors to become friends, then taste and adjust the acidity level as well as the seasoning, remembering that you can always add but you can't take out. Then give that one final mix through just until everything is combined. Once that's all done, this is going to be portioned into little side containers, and I don't currently have a link for these as I bought them from the supermarket. And the final thing to do is top each one with half a teaspoon or 2.5 milliliters of extra virgin olive oil, which is going to add more flavor and create a surface layer preventing oxidization. Place on the lids, locking them nice and tight, and these will last 5 days in the fridge and 3 months in the freezer. Okay, so now we're getting places, and it's time to make the coriander or cilantro, lime and black bean mix, and of course, here's another nutrition guide for you. There's only 2 quick things to prep on this one, with the first being running 2 cloves of garlic along a fine microplane or box grater to create a paste, making sure to scrape it all out to avoid any waste. And the second is 10 grams or 0.3 ounces of coriander or cilantro that can be scrunched into a tight bunch and roughly chopped, ensuring that there's no large leaves or stems. To get the cooking started, place a large saucepan over medium-high heat, add in 1 tablespoon or 20 milliliters of olive oil and add in the minced garlic, the remaining half of that jalapeno, 1 teaspoon or 2.5 grams of ground cumin for an earthy warmth, and a small pinch of sea salt flakes, and then whilst mixing this around the whole time, toast and saute this for 45 seconds, breaking up the garlic in the process. Next, add in 2 cans or 800 grams or 1.76 pounds of washed black beans, and 3/4 of a cup or 180 milliliters of chicken or vegetable stock, which will help break the beans down and create a nice depth of flavor. This can then all be given a really good mix together and bring it to a boil, reduce the heat to low and simmer for 3 minutes, mixing it regularly. 3 minutes later, use a potato masher or fork to lightly break up the beans, which is going to release the starch and allow this to thicken, then continue cooking for 1 minute until you have something that looks like this. Add in the remaining lime juice along with the chopped coriander or cilantro, also checking seasoning levels, and then give this one final mix before removing it from the stovetop, allowing it to slightly cool down for a bit. Now for the final part, place a large high-rimmed pan or pot over medium-high heat, add in 1 tablespoon or 20 milliliters of olive oil, and once hot, add in the seasoned onion and pepper mix. This can now be sauteed whilst mixing regularly for 3 minutes, just until the onion starts to become translucent, and this will also give the spices enough time to toast, enhancing their flavors. Once done, add in the seasoned chicken mix, and whilst breaking it up and regularly mixing, fry this all for 10 minutes, ensuring that the chicken is getting mixed through well and gaining nice color. After 10 minutes, the chicken's cooked through, the onions and peppers are nice and soft, and it smells incredible. Just remove it from the stovetop. With all of that done, this can now be portioned out into 5 1-liter containers, placing the fajita mix on one side and the black bean mix on the other. Place on a wedge of lime in each, and garnish with some fresh coriander or cilantro, which is optional. Once cooled, place on the lids nice and tight, making sure you don't forget the guacamole, and the chicken and bean mix will last 4 days in the fridge and 4 months in the freezer. As for reheating, place it in the microwave until hot, preferably without the lime, but also squeeze that lime over the top, serve with the guacamole alongside, and then with all of that done, we can make all of this worthwhile, and that is we can then dig it.